Acclaimed actress Angie Harmon is known and loved by audiences around the world. From her start as a successful model, Angie soon moved into film and television. She lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she is raising her 3 daughters.
I know that my mother's side is full-blood Greek. On my father's side, on the Harmon side, I'm convinced there's some Irish or some Scottish in there somewhere, but there's just a lot less information. I am a very strong individual, incredibly resilient. I would absolutely love to find where that sort of inner strength, that inner resilience comes from. I've sent the information from my father to genealogist Joseph Shumway, and he has already turned up some leads on the Harmon line.
So I'm excited to share what I've been able to find on your family.
Okay. This is an amazing family tree and filled with names of ancestors I've never heard of. It stretches across 6 generations, all the way back to my 5 times great-grandfather, Michael Harmon. Wow, oh, wow, look at that. Arrival, 1772, he was 18. So this is my grandfather 5 times, and he came from Germany when he was 18, and he came to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Right.
I'm James Horn.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Angie Harmon. City of Philadelphia, record of servants and apprentices.
Your ancestor, Michael Harmon, was mentioned in this record. This is the record that was being filled out when Michael first arrived, December 23rd.
1772.
This is the formal registration of his entry to postpone their payment until they reached their destination, Philadelphia. He would have been auctioned off as an indentured servant to the highest bidder. He wouldn't have had any say in who his master was, and he wouldn't receive any wages.
What was happening in Germany at this time? Like, what was Germany like?
The really big problem at this time was there was very little land available, and that's what compelled a lot of future servants to go elsewhere, where they might be able eventually to set themselves up as independent people. 1778, the colonists were in revolution against the British.
Right.
So now we've got a question.
Did he become a part of this? Did he become a soldier? You know, or did he just sort of go and make his name for himself?
Well,
do we know?
that's what we've got to find out.
Michael Harmon appears on an account of the United States to John Lewis of the 4th Pennsylvania Regiment. So he did enlist.
He was a soldier.
And he fought on the American side.
He did, and he was only 23.
So we're able to reconstruct a lot about Michael Harmon's military service through documents that have survived. And we found a document
Really?
you might be interested in.
Really?
Sure thing.
Okay. So this is like a pay stub.
Yeah.
There's his name right there.
That X is his signature.
Oh, wow. So does this mean that he didn't know how to read or write?
At this point,
It seems that way.
Congress has fled Philadelphia to try to get out of the harm's way. And Michael Harmon is serving in the army that is under the direct command of George Washington.
Oh my God, that's incredible. That's unbelievable. I feel like I'm so close to him, you know? I mean, he was here, he was on these grounds. I wonder if he knew, you know, historically what they were doing. I mean, they had to have.
It's
Hi.
nice to meet you. I'm Major Sean Scully.
Very nice to meet you,
Hi.
too. George Washington.
This is written by somebody to Washington.
It's with inexpressible pain I now inform your excellency of the general mutiny and defection which suddenly took place in the Pennsylvania line. No! No!
This was a mutiny of the sergeants, the corporals, and the privates of the Pennsylvania line against General Anthony Wayne to get Congress to give them what they believed they had been owed. Michael Harmon served for over 3 years with hardly any food, not adequate clothing, and rarely getting paid. This is actually a letter written by the British to the soldiers of the Pennsylvania line.
So now they send this as a sort of, I guess, olive branch, if you will.
They will pay them what Congress owes them.
Sneaky devils.
criminals.
Did they?
They did not. As soon as the two spies arrived in their camp with this letter, the sergeants that were in charge of the mutiny immediately arrested them, delivered them directly to General Anthony Wayne. General Wayne is able to negotiate. They could be discharged and re-enlist for the bounty, or they could be discharged and go home.
Do we know what Michael Harmon chose?
Well, we actually have a way to find out. This is a list of the non-commissioned officers and privates of the 4th Pennsylvania.
Michael Harmon, May 5th, 1777 to 1781. He'd finally had enough.
That's what it looks like.
I don't blame him.
Well, if you're wanting to know more about your ancestor, perhaps a good place to look would be if he left a will.
Yes. 279. Michael Harmon, M. Harmon will.
Yes.
I, Michael Harmon, do make this my last will and testament. First, I give to my wife, Peggy, 70 pounds out of notes and bonds now in possession, be paid to her as soon as can be collected after my decease. To my sons, Peter, Michael, and Jacob.
You're starting to get the family group.
My daughter, Peggy. To my daughter, Barbara. Oh my gosh! To my daughter, Kitty. To my son, John. So now that's 4 boys, 3 girls.
Yes.
7
Yes.
children.
Yes.
Bless. It's such a wonderful family.
So we have one more treat in store. You can go to the actual site where Michael Harmon lived.
I would love to take my daughters.
Oh, wouldn't that be perfect?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm Angie Harmon.
Michael Harmon.
Very nice to meet you, Michael
Nice.
Harmon. Oh,
So we would be 5th cousins.
5th cousins.
Once removed.
Yes.
Right. So here we are.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It is so
Look at the cows.
beautiful. Oh my gosh. All of that fighting, all of that suffering, all of those hardships, all of that was for this. He just put together such a beautiful life, not only for himself, but for the generations after him.